Mina, tell me, has Geno been the same thing Russ was for your Hawks?
No, not. He is a very, very different quarterback from who Russell Wilson was at his peak for Seattle. But I want to start by saying this. I'm so glad we're highlighting Geno Smith because he is playing really good football right now. Granted, against lesser competition, obviously most recently against a Detroit defense that has been absolutely terrible. But I don't want to make, too many caveats. He's been efficient. He's been accurate. He's made good decisions. He's taken not too many sacks, which is one of the many differentiating factors between him and Russell Wilson. My issue is just if we start comparing what he's doing now in this limited sample size against a couple of pretty bad defenses to what Russell Wilson was doing at his peak in Seattle, which was making incredible explosive plays. Magic happened behind a bad offensive line. It's just a very different style of football, but it doesn't mean it's not working for Seattle right now. I think Geno Smith is playing very well.
Well, let me go ahead, Stephen A. Because I was going to bring a little context to this.
Go ahead.
We're not talking about we're not talking about Russell Wilson at his peak when Seattle only was winning games and losing in the playoffs. We're talking about when I had KJ Wright on my show yesterday, I asked KJ Wright, I simply said to him about the philosophy and what they're doing. And KJ Wright said to me, which I already knew, this is the recipe that Pete wants to get back to. A guy that can do exactly what Geno is doing with a defense that's solid and sound that can help them win football games.
Wow.
Why would you pay a guy $200 million if you can get the same things from Geno Smith for a fraction of the cost? He paid Geno Smith $7 million to do essentially the same thing.
Okay, first of all, I get your point about the dollars because obviously it makes sense. It's a good business decision on their part considering the similarities that you're pointing to. But let's pump the brakes for a second, Keyshawn. We all knew part of the reason Russell Wilson is gone because he wanted to be gone. He didn't want to be there. His wife didn't want to be there. They wanted to get out of the Pacific Northwest. They wanted to go somewhere else, okay?
And that may be true.
So what I'm saying is that's where the consideration came in, number one. If Russell Wilson was gung-ho about remaining a Seattle Seahawk and retiring with that franchise, we might be having a different conversation despite the money that it was going to come with it. Because remember, he accepted less. His guarantee was $165 million. And in today's quarterback market, that ain't that excessive considering some of the money that's being doled out there. Let's just call it what it is. As it pertains to Geno, Mina's right. The brother's been balling. Let's give credit where credit is due because we damn sure gave him blame when he deserved it. He said they wrote me off, but I didn't write back. And then he went out and lost to San Francisco the next weekend. But the bottom line is he's been balling. And I give credit where credit is due. And so when I look at Geno Smith right now, 77% completion, 6 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions, can move with the football. He's got some wheels on him. He's throwing passes. He's making right decisions. He's not turnover prone. Those are the kind of things that you expect from a Russell Wilson in the past. All I'm saying, Key, is this. Let's watch it a little bit longer to see what he does.
We only talking about, we're talking about 4 games. The wheels could completely fall off.
That's what I'm saying. And
there's no question about that.
Whoa. Keyshawn Johnson. You put Keyshawn Johnson, because I want to see his face when I say this. Put that man up on that screen. Keyshawn Johnson, you would be an expert on that because your former MVP candidate, Derek Carr, the wheels came off. You see what I'm saying? The wheels came off on those kind of prognostication. You would be an expert on that.
Don't even start me because I like Mike Tomlin. Let's not get into the quarterbacks and teams that you like and all that. Because Pittsburgh, they might win 7 games. So let's slow it down.
Yeah.
Keyshawn, I don't even think it's 7.
We're going off of affiliations. This
I don't even think it's 7.
We're not exactly a murderer's row up here with the teams we root for. But I just want to make one more point about you, Keyshawn, what you said about Pete Carroll. I do not think Pete Carroll loves this brand of Seahawks football because what you just described, the idea of good defense, game management, that is not what's happening. I mean, if you watch the Detroit game, the Seattle defense struggled. Geno Smith had to score every time he had the football, and he did, and that's why I want to give him so much credit for that win. It wasn't just against a bad defense. There was the pressure on him of having to make every drive result in points. But I'll tell you what, that is not something that Pete Carroll likes to see.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.